from the rock, an unusual musical happening in a most unusual place.
Yeah.
The state prison.
Yeah. Big Bad's Life with another informative video, man. We're going to jump right into it. What if I told you, in the Nolan Wells case, we've been here before. In terms of another case that happened not so often, where a boating accident happened, someone was unalive, social media accounts were disappeared, calls were made to kind of cover up, and it's been a big scandal. Somewhere in Carolina this happened, and I want to show the cross references that this lawyer made to this case. Let's get right into it. Check this out.
Paul had been awaiting trial accused of being under the influence while crashing a boat that killed 19-year-old passenger Mallory Beach in 2019.
Police say Paul was, quote, grossly intoxicated, yet he wasn't issued a field sobriety test, nor did he ever spend a night in jail. Paul pleaded not guilty to all charges.
What do you say about that, about why he decided to plead not guilty?
Because he's not guilty.
The court-ordered mediation in the wrongful death lawsuit failed on June 4th, 2021, meaning the case would then head to trial. 3 days later, Paul and his mother Maggie are found shot to death at their family's hunting lodge.
What comes to my mind is my son Paul was in a boat wreck. A lot of negative publicity about that, and there's been a lot of people online just really vile stuff.
Now, we know about the famous CTO call that the sister cleared up and simply just enhanced it, right? What if I told you a lawyer kind of tied everything in comparison with the Murdaugh cases, right? Check this out.
But I just watched a video. It is midnight. I just finished a workout and something clicked. I watched a video that made something else click that I watched earlier today, and that's this. The kid calls for a tow. The woman, Vicky, calls the captain to do the tow. And she says, this kid's grandfather, this Jerry Ackerman, is a member. Before she says the guy's name, the captain says, Jerry? I just got off the phone with him. I literally just got off the phone with him. And he said that they don't need a tow, that they're fine. So, hold on. The grandson is calling for the tow simultaneous to the grandfather calling the captain of the towboat saying they don't need a tow before the captain gets a call from Vicky. When did the kid call the grandfather? While the boat is sinking? He called grandfather for what could grandfather possibly do for you? He called the grandfather for what the fuck do we do? This kid's dead. Grandfather said, you gotta make a trail. That you tried to get help, that there was an accident, something happened, the boat's going under. Okay, it's a boat. Call. So there is a recording of you trying to get help for something, and we'll figure it out later. I think that their story has evolved.
Evolved to what, you may ask? Evolved to a whole different testimonies and timelines not adding up. Insert Officer Dum Tatum interviews, different testimonies that don't align, and you're just building up lie on top of lie on top of lie. And you have ears that are listening, because if the evidence don't add up, then, eyes get open, ears start listening. And then more and more and more start to build up. Check the rest of this out.
Then to create a timestamp in history of what was happening, what they were doing, where they were, and that there was a completely different emergency happening, nothing to do with Nolan, okay? And the grandfather did not want to get billed for this tow, and obviously didn't want the captain to go and happen upon whatever the fuck's going on. So he preempts the emergency call to the captain and says, hey, you might get a call, but they don't need it. I walked them through it. It's fine. It was an alibi advised by the grandfather. You remember the Murdaugh documentary?
A lot of us don't. So what I have to do is refresh your memory just a little bit so you can get in tune with the Murdaugh case and the Nolan Wells case. Check this out.
Because the jury has reached a verdict.
A verdict has been reached.
The jury has reached a verdict in the double murder trial of Alex Murdaugh.
You remember that, right? You remember when his son
What happened?
killed a girl in a boating accident, right? And how they completely jumped into action immediately without skipping a fucking beat.
They find her?
One's still missing. You get these kids to keep their mouths shut, and parents too.
How bad is this for us?
To do a cover-up.
I'm working on a story. The Murdaughs have a history of trying to cover things up.
They all get back, they all wipe all of, in unison, all wipe their social media. Why would you have to do that? Well, why the fuck would you have to do that? If you left them on the island, why are you deleting all of your social media? Another thing.
Hold on. What else is there that I don't know about?
I couldn't imagine that they want to get underage drinking on camera. So what they had articulated to me, that it wasn't abnormal for people not to snap and not to do a lot of pictures and things like that, because they were focused on
but you
being
told me
off of the
they showed
mainland.
you pictures and videos.
Yeah,
so
but
they
it's
did
not
take
uploaded.
pictures and videos.
No. It's not a lot of pictures, and they weren't uploaded.
Shut the fuck up, Brandon.
You lying ass bitch.
Because he is spinning his wheels here, trying to convince Nancy that the boys were telling the truth. They let me see their videos on their phones. And that, of course, they wouldn't want to film themselves drinking. They all film themselves drinking. No, but they wouldn't upload it onto Snap. Here's why he just fucked up. The mother, one of the first days after this all happened, the mother said, we wanted his phone because he had snapped, and we wanted to see the snaps that he had snapped. And the snaps were deleted. So she had seen his snaps. The whole point of Snapchat is that you are able to post things that maybe you don't want a record of. But at least everyone knew you were having fun. The stuff deletes. You know if someone screenshots it. So he had absolutely snapped. They wanted to go into his phone, into his account, because you can see your historic snaps. And those were gone. And today, Crump, the family via Crump, subpoenaed Snapchat and Meta. Why would they do that if they didn't absolutely see his snaps that those kids deleted? And this Brandon Tatum is helping them cover it up. Ew, Brandon Tatum. Anyway, those are my thoughts right now.
Do you see how eerily similar this is to the Nolan Wells case? Same situation. Not only that, you're dealing with doctors and lawyers, but it goes a little further than that. Check this out too.
Will you not to talk to me? They have connections all the way up to the governor. I think we've only scratched the surface of what's going on here.
Be careful. These are very, very powerful people.
I know you've been lying to me.
I'm the one that's got to do it, not you. Me.
What's funny and eerily kind of unpredictable is that these people take cases and turn them into shows. The Murdaughs was a real case of a real unaliving, and which carried on to other unalivings. Just like Jeffrey Dahmer became a series on Netflix. Just like they ran P. Diddy's case, they ran it on Netflix. Just like probably years from now, we'll see Nolan Wells as a series. This is what they do. But also what they don't tell you is they have nicks and little pieces of truth inside of those stories. And I guarantee you, the Murdaughs was something that Ocean Springs is familiar with, because that community mirrors Ocean Springs community. They have judges, of course. They have judges in the Murdaughs cases. They have judges in the Nolan Wells cases. The mother. They have an unaliving on a boat. Nolan Wells was unalived on a boat. They got back to shore after not even hearing from their friend, shut down social media accounts, shut down all platforms. So did the Murdaugh case. So best believe that, unlike us, they take cues and dog whistles from things that they watch. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of black folks, we don't watch the Murdaughs. We haven't seen it. We probably don't know about the Murdaugh case. Because, yet again, that was white on white violence. White on white unaliving. In this case, in Mississippi, we know what it is. Anyway, leave a comment, man. Like and subscribe, and we'll have more coming on the way. But think about it. And at the end of this, I'll leave just a short, brief understanding of the Murdaugh case again, so you can go back and tap into Nolan Wells. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. What say you, fam? Leave a comment. And until next time, all right?
Alec Murdaugh. That's his son. Good luck.
Paul had been awaiting trial accused of being under the influence while crashing a boat that killed 19-year-old passenger Mallory Beach in 2019.
Police say Paul was, quote, grossly intoxicated, yet he wasn't issued a field sobriety test, nor did he ever spend a night in jail. Paul pleaded not guilty to all charges.
What can you say about that, about why he decided to plead not guilty?
Because he's not guilty.
The court-ordered mediation in the wrongful death lawsuit failed on June 4th, 2021, meaning the case would then head to trial. 3 days later, Paul and his mother Maggie are found shot to death at their family's hunting lodge.
What comes to my mind is my son Paul was in a boat wreck. A lot of negative publicity about that, and there's been a lot of people online just really vile stuff.